Hi, Erin. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd like to start off by having you introduce yourself. Where are you from? Where did you go to school?
Sure. My name is Erin McGuinty, and I was born and raised in North Bay, Ontario, and I'm now living in Toronto, Ontario, and I've been here for about 8 years. And I went to school at Carleton University for my undergrad. I did that in women's studies, and then I did my master's of social work through the University of Windsor here in Toronto, the program for working professionals.
What kind of problems can people come to you for help with? What are your specialties?
Well, I definitely have a lot of experience working with people who are experiencing depression, anxiety, and I have developed a passion over the years for working with people with eating disorders. So I would say those are my top three areas.
Erin, many of us have those aha moments in our lives where we feel like, oh, I just accomplished something. But in the field
Mm-hmm.
of therapy and specifically mental health, for you guys, it's an aha moment if you just help someone change their lives. Do you have any of those aha moments?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's been many sort of larger victories, if you'd call them that, where somebody really pushed through a really difficult time. And I can think of a few stories where it's felt like, the clients have accomplished so much and have moved so much further ahead. But I think for myself personally, I sort of experienced that kind of feeling like almost every session. I feel like probably 10 to 15 minutes into a session, I just start to feel like things, it's just flowing. I feel like there's a good energy. I feel like there's a good connection with the client. And it just kind of reminds me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
So at TranQool, we really like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And what do you think are the benefits of cognitive behavioral therapy and how it's different?
I think CBT is great. I think it's been proven to be one of the best treatments for anxiety, for depression, and I think that's because it is very accessible in that the client learns very specific tools that they can take with them, and once they've mastered the tool with the help of a therapist, then they can apply those practices in their everyday life on their own. So it's something that you can really take with you for a lifetime. I think that it's also a very practical approach to therapy. So for somebody who wants to have a logical, step-by-step method for healing and for therapy, then it's a really good approach for them.
So you touched on skills that stay with you. I want to talk about that because I've personally done CBT and the skills have stayed with me. What do you think are um, some of those skills that stay with you that help you cope with the challenges that come in life?
Hmm. I think that there's something that what we refer to as thought stopping. So basically, it's when you have a negative thought or a pattern of negative thinking, then you learn to acknowledge the thoughts that you're having and stop them. So some people like to have a physical reminder to stop the thought. So sometimes, if you're just, sometimes people will tap their finger, or sometimes it's a matter of just saying, actually stop. And that reminds them that they're having a negative wave of thoughts and they need to switch it into more positive thinking. And we know that that's proven to improve mood and change behavior as well.
What is your, one piece of advice for someone who's on the fence about starting to do therapy?
Hmm. I think that if you're on the fence about trying therapy, I would just try it. I kind of think it's like starting a new exercise routine, or basically, when we try something new to take care of ourselves, there's often a bit of hesitation and maybe some fear because we don't know what it's going to be like, and I think that's natural. But we sort of have to push through that in order to initiate any change in our lives. So if you're on the fence about therapy, I would try it. And if it doesn't work, if you don't feel that connection with that first therapist, then try another one.
What are your thoughts on the effectiveness of video therapy, or why people should even give TranQool a try?
First of all, it's convenient. I think that at first, when I started using video platforms for therapy, I was a little bit hesitant. I thought, it's going to take a long time to build rapport with clients, and I'm going to be missing out on body language that I would see with with a client sitting across the room from me. But I was surprised that I think clients are generally more comfortable, actually, because they're often at home in their own environment, or they're somewhere that they've chosen to be. So I think when the client is able to feel a little bit more relaxed, then you kind of bypass through that initial awkwardness when you first meet someone. So I think that's one of the big benefits to video therapy.
Erin, thank you so much for your time. This was wonderful, and I really hope that our users and the clients have a better understanding of who you are and how you can help them.
No problem. My pleasure.